Cinephiles. Today we're going to break down the number one horror movie of 2024.
AKA The Substance. That movie is a fever dream.
No, literally had my jaw dropped in some scenes, no lie.
Olivia, how many times do you think we've watched that movie? Actually?
At least, 4, but I can watch it again.
It's better every time,
It still gets better.
Demi Moore, the star of the movie, she really puts herself out there.
Yeah, her and Margaret Qualley are a
They're
dynamic
so good.
duo.
They're so good. If you haven't watched The Substance, you definitely need to, but we're going to be dissecting it today.
Okay, Claire, but let's start from the beginning.
Okay. It starts off with Elizabeth Sparkle. She's a TV actress, and she's being fired from her aerobic show because her male supervisors think that she's no longer, pretty enough?
She just turned 50, and kind of regardless of all the time and the years she spent there, they ultimately say to her with
They
a
want to
bouquet
fire
of
her.
flowers, from a business perspective, you're not good for
We need
sales
something
anymore.
fresh. We need something new.
Something younger, something prettier.
And she's devastated.
She starts
'Cause
looking
she's
at
kind
herself
of
differently.
in
She starts to
distress.
spiral. Crashes her car. Kind of crazy. Ends up in the hospital. Exactly.
And that's kind of where it all begins. She gets offered this drug. She doesn't know what it is.
The Substance.
It's called The Substance.
Is it a serum? Is it a, what is it? Some new
She's
injection?
intrigued.
Whatever. Yeah. So why not check it out?
She goes to the address that they sent her.
Scary locker room with numbers
Scary
all
lockbox.
over. Very discreet.
She picks up, it's like a syringe. It's a couple packages. And she starts to read up on what this might be. Brings it back to her apartment. And she injects herself with this weird green liquid. And that's where it all begins.
So it all starts with this crazy scene in her bathroom. Her back
pretty nasty.
essentially splits open. Crazy blood, whatever, gross, gore.
Margaret Qualley emerges from her back
as Sue. The younger, better version of Demi.
She feels refreshed. She feels beautiful.
Young. Yeah.
But she looks behind her, and there is her old body
laying
there on the tile. There's a 7-day agreement that she has to follow. Elizabeth gets 7 days, and then Sue gets 7 days. She also requires painful spinal injections with this stabilizer fluid. It's pretty nasty. It gets injected into her lower back, and she almost immediately has to stabilize her other body to keep Sue alive. So they're very dependent on each other, and it kind of creates a lot of problems down the line.
Yes, it's very much they both have to take care of each other in order for this agreement to work out. Otherwise, bad things start to happen.
Sue has a really good life.
Sue goes out on the town. She's getting lots of attention. She's
the new
the
star.
New girl on the block.
She gets hired by Elizabeth's old managers, and she's the new star on their aerobic show. She's fresh and she's new.
Skimpier.
But she's hypersexualized.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah, she is.
We can immediately see the differences about how the two women feel about each other.
Literally.
Elizabeth gives Sue a pillow under her head, lays her down gently, and makes sure she always does her feeding,
takes care of her
injections on
younger,
time.
beautiful self. She takes good care of her.
Meanwhile, Sue could care less.
Sue wants to literally hide her old body. She breaks down a wall in her bathroom.
Makes essentially a scary little closet to throw Elizabeth's body in, literally.
Locks her older self away.
When she's not awake.
Puts no pillow under her head. She's literally internalizing society's message that her older self needs to be hidden. Sue starts to get greedy. She loves her fame.
And they both start to suffer the consequences. Yeah.
She's taking too many days. She's forgetting about her old body, forgetting to do the stabilizing, and things are starting to go wrong.
It starts small. As Sue takes 1 or 2 days too much, Elizabeth wakes up and one of her fingers is
throughout the whole week
gnarly and messed up, and she starts to freak out. She calls the people.
She knows something is wrong. She calls the help number, and
she says, "What do I do?" They say, "We told you the rules.
We can't help you. Somebody is not respecting the balance."
Yeah, whatever
is the
done,
number one
is done.
rule. You need to respect the balance. Both her and Sue After all, it is a version of her.
It's
Sue,
the same conscious in two different bodies.
it's very strange because she becomes angry. She becomes angry at her younger self, and immediately
they both
we can
become hateful of each
we
other.
see her unravel.
As Sue takes more time, her body literally starts to become physically deformed and disheveled.
She can see Sue's billboard outside of her apartment, and it's constantly reminding her
Of how that's the better version of her, how essentially she's not wanted, she's not useful as long as she's old. And just like the younger version starts to degrade her, she starts to degrade herself. In a crazy scene where she's watching Sue's show, an interview with her, talking about her fame and how this was her dream and da-da-da-da-da. And Elizabeth just can't help but start turning irate and getting so mad, saying, "This is my dream. This is, you're not
she
even,
trashes her
you
home.
wouldn't exist without me." Actually, they think they're sabotaging each other. But they don't realize that it's just hurting themselves because they are the same person. You hurt one, you hurt the other.
The date scene.
This really went from a little bit of like crazy route to definitely an emotional turn. I really felt for Elizabeth.
This part is emotional.
She finally, after staying hidden in her house for weeks and convinced she couldn't step outside, she finally finds an old friend from high school who was always sort of a nerd and never made it very
and
big.
I guess he's been watching her. He admires her.
He's always adored her, and he asks to take her on a date.
And she says yes, and she
agrees.
wants to go. She gets all ready. She looks herself in the mirror, and she starts to cry. And
She starts breaking down, ripping her makeup off, and ultimately ghosts him.
Decides to stand the guy up.
Cries herself to sleep. They go back and forth for a while, and Sue goes on a huge time jump of months before she gives the body back to Elizabeth.
Right. So she does. She has to switch back, or else she won't survive herself.
She's
so
dying.
they switch back. Elizabeth wakes up. She's
haggard.
A completely new person.
She kind of looks like an old witch. So at this point, this has pushed her to her edge.
Right. There's one more injection she can take, and it's to terminate her other self. So she would have
stop
to
the process entirely.
Basically end Sue's life.
She starts injecting Sue, but in an instant she looks at her face and
she
sees
regrets
herself
it.
in the mirror and has a change of heart.
Right.
She takes the other injection, the stabilizer, and immediately starts trying to
revive her old self.
Transfuse them while she's still awake. Sue wakes up while she's awake too. They're both awake and they
both
see
wake
each
up.
other. It's very strange. Sue wakes up to see Elizabeth on top of her with a termination tube inside of her neck, and she thinks she's
mad.
She's mad. Spoiler alert.
There's a huge fight. Elizabeth doesn't really stand a chance against Sue at this point, and I can't get into the gory details, but Elizabeth gets her head smashed into the mirror.
Sue basically beats her to death.
Brutally murders her old self.
Kills her. The biggest show she's been
It's her
waiting
showcase.
for all
She
year.
Wasn't going to let Elizabeth get in the way of this.
No. So she gets herself pretty, she goes to the studio, and stuff starts getting bad. Her teeth are falling out.
Her teeth start to fall out. This is when it gets really gory, so trigger warning for those viewers.
Her actual ear falls off of her head. She is literally falling apart.
It's pretty bad.
She's feeling desperate now. She needs to go on for her show. She breaks out of the studio and runs home, back to the apartment, and does something I didn't expect her to do.
What was it? I actually forget.
Girl, she took the substance again.
Oh, right.
To make a better version of her.
A newer, better version of Sue. The newer, better
Thinking
version.
that would save her.
This part, you have to see yourself.
Monstro Alyssa Sue.
Monstro Alyssa Sue goes on stage.
Mortifies the audience. Getting pushed around, and her head kind of explodes all over the place.
And spews blood all over the entire crowd.
She runs out of the studio, barely even walking, falls over onto the sidewalk, and explodes once again with the final last face of Demi Moore in a blob of flesh, crawling as hard as it can to get to the Hollywood star.
Her Hollywood
Elizabeth
star,
Sparkle,
Elizabeth Sparkle.
where she ultimately dies.
It all comes back to Elizabeth Sparkle.
Ultimately, a tale of self-destruction. See ya later, guys!